welcome you watching the Monday edition of This Is Exclusive with me, Sharvin Sen. Tonight on This Is Exclusive, we put the spotlight on two very important stories, starting with what's really happening in United Kingdom. A series of attacks that have taken place, the latest happening to be that of a 30-year-old Indian student. The other big story that we are tracking tonight is the Al-Falah fraud that has been exposed. In fact, tonight on This Is Exclusive, we put the spotlight on the documents that have been accessed by Republic TV from the investigation that has been carried out by the Enforcement Directorate. All this and much more on this edition of This Is Exclusive. But up first, let me take you through the headlines we are tracking at this hour. "30-year-old Indian student Vijay Kumar stabbed to death in United Kingdom on 25th of November. Family demands answers from the Keir Starmer government. Family of Indian student killed in UK writes to the Ministry of External Affairs, asked for help in bringing back his mortal remains and heightened probe. Republic accesses Al-Falah sale deed documents exposing land fraud. Government confirms GPS spoofing attempts that were made over Delhi's IGI, says AI asked to probe source of interference. Ladies and gentlemen, a family in Haryana is demanding answers after their son, a 30-year-old Indian student studying in the United Kingdom, was killed in a brutal stabbing that took place. The victim, identified by relatives as Vijay Kumar Sheoran, was found with severe injuries in the Bristol Road in early hours of 25th of November and later died in the hospital. British police have now launched a murder investigation and arrested 5 people. All of whom are now out on bail as detectives continue to gather evidence. But for Vijay's family, the wait for clarity is growing to becoming unbearable. They say they still don't know what led to the attack, who was really responsible, or why the suspects were released on bail so quickly. They are urging both the UK authorities as well as India's External Affairs Ministry to step in and ensure a transparent probe. Before I take you through a full report, ladies and gentlemen, there have been a series of incidents that have taken place in the United Kingdom. So much so, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has been cornered on several law and order issues that are essentially taking place, demanding answers from the British government as to what exactly are they really doing about the safety and security of not just locals, but also those who are in United Kingdom from other countries. First, take a look at the detailed report, and then we also, tonight on This Is Exclusive, we'll be speaking to the family members of Vijay Kumar.
In the quiet pre-dawn streets of Worcester in UK, a 30-year-old Indian student was found collapsed with critical stab wounds on November 25th. The Indian student, identified as Vijay Kumar, a resident of Haryana's Charki district, succumbed to the injuries after he was rushed to the hospital. This has now spiraled into a murder investigation. But more than a week on, the student's family in Haryana says they are still searching for answers and for justice.
25 नवंबर को हमें पता चला था, मेरे को कॉल आया था विजय के दोस्त का तकरीबन 6 बजे शाम को, कि भाई उसने बताया कि विजय का कॉल नहीं लग रहा है, कांटेक्ट नहीं हो रहा है, आप लोगों से उनका कांटेक्ट हुआ क्या? मैंने बोला नहीं, हमारा कोई कांटेक्ट नहीं हुआ है। और उसके बाद वो बोले कि वहाँ की लोकल पुलिस से आपका नंबर लेके गई है, बोले विजय के ब्रदर या उनके पेरेंट्स का नंबर दे दो। तो वो बोला कि मैंने आपका नंबर दिया है, वो लोकल पुलिस वहाँ की आपसे कांटेक्ट करेगी। तो उन्होंने मेरे से कांटेक्ट किया था, एक नताशा मैम है वहाँ पुलिस ऑफिसर, तो उसने भी मेरे को यही इन्फॉर्मेशन दी कि 5 मेंबर आर अरेस्ट एंड 1 मैन इज क्रिटिकल पोजीशन। इतना ही हमें इंटीमेट किया था।
The West Mercia police has arrested 5 men on suspicion of attempted murder, but all have since been released on bail as inquiries continue. The killing comes amid heightened tension in UK marked by rising violent crimes, immigration-linked unrest and political friction issues drawing national attention. In Jangrambas village in Haryana, the victim's family say they have received no clarity on why he was attacked and are urging both the British authorities and Indian External Affairs Ministry to step in. They want a transparent investigation, swift updates, and assistance in bringing his body home. They've appealed to the Union Ministry of External Affairs for assistance in repatriating his mortal remains and for intensified investigation into the case. His MBA course at the University of West England was scheduled to conclude in May 2026. As detectives piece together what happened in this case, the family insists the Indian government's help to get them answers. They are calling for accountability and for the truth behind their son's final moments to be made public.
In fact, Vijay Sheoran's brother Ravi Sheoran is joining us on this broadcast. Ravi ji, सबसे पहले आपसे जानना चाहूँगा कि आपके भाई विजय के बारे में कि वो यूनाइटेड किंगडम में क्या कर रहे थे, उनके बारे में आप थोड़ा बताइए। उसके बाद विस्तार से बात करेंगे कि आखिरकार उनके साथ 25 नवंबर को हुआ क्या था।
मेरे ब्रदर हायर एजुकेशन के लिए गए थे वहां पे। ये गए थे इसमें 18 जनवरी 2025 को एमबीए मैनेजमेंट कोर्स के लिए गए थे यूके में। तो ये बर्मिंघम सिटी में एक ब्रिस्टल यूनिवर्सिटी है, उसमें एमबीए के कोर्स के लिए गए थे।
रवि, ये बताइए कि 25 नवंबर को क्या हुआ था, पूरे डिटेल में बताइए कि आखिरकार कोई ऐसे एनिमिटी की बात हो रही थी या कोई जान पहचान जिसके साथ कुछ लड़ाई हुआ था, कुछ पूरे डिटेल में बताइए कि 25 नवंबर को आखिरकार हुआ क्या था।
वॉइस नहीं आ रही सर, आपकी वॉइस।
रवि, जो सवाल मैं कर रहा था, अभी आवाज आ रही है आपको?
हाँ, अभी आवाज आ रही है।
रवि, मैं ये जानना चाहूंगा आपसे कि 25 नवंबर को जब आपके भाई घर से निकले तो हुआ क्या, पूरे डिटेल में आप बताइए। उसके बाद मैं और भी कुछ सवाल करना चाहूंगा कि आखिरकार आप किसको सस्पेक्ट करते हैं, पर पहले 25 नवंबर को क्या हुआ?
25 नवंबर को विजय के दोस्त थे, ब्रदर के दोस्त, उनकी कॉल आई थी मेरे पास कि विजय से कोई कांटेक्ट हुआ है क्या आपका। और हमारे पास बोला यहाँ की लोकल पुलिस यूके में वुस्टर जगह है बर्मिंघम में, तो वहाँ की लोकल पुलिस हमारे पास आई थी और वो बोल रही थी कि विजय के पेरेंट्स या ब्रदर का नंबर दे दो मुझे। फर्स्ट हमें यही पता चला था और उसके बाद में एक वहाँ पे पुलिस ऑफिसर है नताशा मैम, उसका हमारे पास कॉल आया था यूके से। उसने हमारे को इन्फॉर्मेशन दिया था कि 5 मेंबर आर अरेस्टेड एंड 1 मेंबर आर क्रिटिकल सिचुएशन।
रवि, आपको पता है कि हुआ क्या था जब आपके भाई घर से वो निकले और उसके बाद ये स्टैबिंग का इंसिडेंट हुआ? इसके बारे में आपको कोई जानकारी मिली कि आखिरकार कहां पर हुआ था, कितने लोग थे, उसके बारे कोई डिटेल्स आपके पास?
डिटेल सर उसकी पर्टिकुलर मतलब मुझे तो ज्यादा तो नहीं पता है, क्योंकि वहाँ की क्या पॉलिसी है, वहाँ की पुलिस हमें टोटली आफ्टर इन्वेस्टिगेशन ही टोटली ये स्थिति से अवगत करवा पाएगी। बट एक विजय के दोस्त हैं, उन्होंने हमारे को इस स्थिति से अवगत करवाया है कि विजय कहीं किसी दोस्त के पास किसी दोस्त ने बुलाया था और उन्होंने कोई बर्थडे सेलिब्रेशन किया है और वहां पे उन्होंने उसको मतलब इसे जो भी ये सिचुएशन हुई है या क्या हुआ है इसके उन्होंने वहां पे उसको रूम में ही शायद चाकू से उसको वार किया है और उसके बाद विजय की बॉडी को आउटसाइड थ्रो किया है विजय की कार के पास किसी गली में। और अर्ली मॉर्निंग 4:15 पे वहां की न्यूज के अकॉर्डिंग बता रहा हूँ, ये तो न्यूज में आया था कि 4:15 मॉर्निंग में पुलिस आके विजय की डेड बॉडी को रिकवर करके हॉस्पिटल लेके गई है।
रवि, ये बताइए कि क्या ये सही है कि इस पूरे मामले में 5 लोगों के अरेस्ट हुए हैं और सबके सब बेल पे छूट चुके हैं?
हाँ, बेल पे छूट चुके हैं। वो वहाँ की क्या पॉलिसी है कि वहाँ की गवर्नमेंट की बता रहे हैं कि 72 आवर्स के बाद जब तक इन्वेस्टिगेशन कंप्लीट नहीं होती है तो उनको 72 आवर्स के बाद शायद उनकी बेल हो जाती है।
रवि, आप इस वक्त क्या मांग करेंगे? क्योंकि ये थोड़ी देर पहले जो हमारे पास जानकारी आई थी वो है कि आपके भाई के शव अब तक आपको नहीं मिला है और जो कम्युनिकेशन आप करना चाह रहे हैं कि मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स की मदद लेने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, इस वक्त क्या स्थिति है? कोई बातचीत हो पाई आपकी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स के साथ?
नहीं, वहां से हमने मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर में मैं खुद इंडिविजुअल मेल भी किया है और मैं ट्विटर के माध्यम से भी उनको इन्फो किया है, बट उसका कोई फीडबैक हमारे पास नहीं आया है।
आप कह रहे हैं कि कोई फीडबैक नहीं दिया गया है। रिपब्लिक के माध्यम से आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे उन लोगों को जो लोग देख रहे हैं इस वक्त और सवाल उठाया जा रहा है कि आखिरकार कई सारे ऐसे भारतीय हैं यूनाइटेड किंगडम में और सिर्फ आपके भाई के साथ नहीं, कई लोगों के साथ कई सारे इंसिडेंट्स हुए, दुखद इंसिडेंट्स हो चुके हैं। आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे उन लोगों को?
सॉरी, एक बार अगेन रिपीट करना आप।
आपसे पूछना चाह रहा हूं कि रिपब्लिक के माध्यम से आप मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स और साथ ही साथ यूके के अथॉरिटीज को क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ अफेयर्स को तो मैं यही कहना चाहूंगा कि भाई मेरे ब्रदर की बॉडी जल्द से जल्द इंडिया लेके आए। जैसे कोई भी ये मतलब प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी और अमित शाह और जयशंकर जो विदेश मंत्री हैं हमारे, तो उनसे मेरी यही अपील है कि मेरे ब्रदर विजय की डेड बॉडी इंडिया लेके आए ताकि हम इंडिया में और हमारे पैतृक गांव में उनका हिंदू रीति रिवाज के अनुसार उनकी डेड बॉडी को लास्ट मतलब अंतिम विदाई दे सके। क्योंकि मेरा परिवार और बहुत ही स्ट्रेस में जाता जा रहा है, तो ये मेरी यहाँ इंडियन गवर्नमेंट से मेरी अपील है। क्योंकि मैं भी एक इंडियन आर्मी का एक सैनिक हूँ और ये मेरी पर्सनली डिफेंस मिनिस्टर से भी और अमित शाह से, पीएम श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी से ये पर्सनली मेरी अपील है।
रवि, आपसे करना चाहूंगा कि जब यूके अथॉरिटीज का ये कहना है कि पूरे तफ्तीश के बाद ही आपको कोई जानकारी दी जाएगी, आप उनको क्या क्या कहना चाहेंगे? क्योंकि आपके भाई महज 30 साल के थे और वो यूके पढ़ने गए थे और अब जो हालत है उससे कई सवाल उठते हैं कि आखिरकार जब हम कहते हैं कि डेवलप्ड नेशन है, यूके एक डेवलप्ड नेशन है, उसके बावजूद ऐसे कई सारे इंसिडेंट्स हो चुके हैं।
मैं यही कहना चाहूंगा वहां की गवर्नमेंट को भी, यूके गवर्नमेंट को भी कम से कम हमारे को स्थिति से हर स्थिति से अवगत करवाएं कि भाई अभी इन्वेस्टिगेशन यहाँ तक पहुंची है। क्योंकि वहां पोस्टमार्टम तो मतलब हो चुका है ब्रदर का, और भाई वहाँ ये पैथोलॉजी रिपोर्ट भी हमें एक्चुअल पता नहीं है कि उसका रिपोर्ट में क्या आया है।
जी,
तो वो भी हमारे को प्रॉपर मतलब बताया जाए।
जी। रवि, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद रिपब्लिक टीवी से बात करने के लिए। आपने जो सवाल उठाए हैं, हम लोग ये कोशिश करेंगे कि आपके ये सवाल वहाँ तक पहुँचे और आपको जवाब जल्द मिले इस पूरे मामले को लेकर। Well, in fact, questions are essentially being also raised about what exactly is the condition currently in the United Kingdom. Let me now take you through the other big story that we are getting to you tonight on This Is Exclusive with regards to a detailed investigation that has been carried out. Investigating the source of the funding in the Red Fort bomb blast case, ED has basically stumbled upon a new land rip-off in Madanpur Khadar in Delhi. In fact, this is involving the acquisition of the land in South Delhi. It's a prime land. It basically turns out that between 2013, from the time that this land was basically acquired by the Al-Falah founders, it was through sale deeds of people who have lost their lives. In fact, I'm going to take you through some of the details that are coming in with regards to the forgery attempt that has been made. On your screens right now, we'll go full frame with some of the details that have been carried out by the Enforcement Directorate in terms of the investigation that has been carried out. It seems that one land parcel in South Delhi, in fact, from the documents that have been accessed, exposing the land fraud. Now, in a startling land fraud scam that has been exposed by the Enforcement Directorate, what has essentially emerged are the following. The fact that the sale deed that you see on your screens, this is with regards to the South Delhi land. Enforcement Directorate sources say that Al-Falah, the founder of the organization under probe, is alleged to have used a forged general power of attorney to transfer the prime land, some of it reportedly sold in the names of people long deceased. Now, officials probing the Madanpur Khadar acquisition claim that the GPA was false. It was fabricated with one individual allegedly holding the power of attorney for at least 5 deed landowners. In fact, the Enforcement Directorate is also now examining how these documents may have been created by Jawad Hussain Siddiqui, and whether at all this was essentially done to grab land from those who did not even exist. In fact, I want to go back full frame with some of the details that we have in terms of those who are dead, but in there, what has essentially emerged from the probe that has been found, that few people have even died before this sale deed was actually signed. And it turns out that over a period of time, this was basically taken over. On your screens right now, the general power of attorney that was dated for January 2024 that was declared. Now, let me just take you through some of the details. Few people died much before the signing of the general power of attorney. So it means it was a complete forgery that was essentially done by those who were basically responsible for the land that was taken over. Now, let me also take you some of the details that we have. These are documents that basically shows that few people died much before signing the GPA. People were already dead when the GPA was executed in January 2004. At least 5 such sale deeds on your screens right now basically indicates that these were 5 people who were the original landowners, and it turns out that this land was taken over from them. They were not even, perhaps they did not even exist. It appears from the investigation that has been carried out that they did not even exist. An Al-Falah founder had taken over this property, this land in South Delhi, which was basically taken over by them. It also turns out that Jawad, who had multiple cases that have been registered against him, which includes forgery as well as criminal conspiracy and cheating. On your screens right now, these are latest details that are also now coming in of what really happened, the signatures that have essentially taken place so far. We'll try and also go across to our reporters on the ground getting us the latest details. But before that, let me just take you through what has been probed by the Enforcement Directorate in terms of the investigation that has been carried out. This is the Tarbiya land basic details that have come in. Now, I'm going to take you through the names of those who have died, and sale deeds are in their names. Harbans Singh Ram, he died in 1991. Jairam, he died in the year 1998. Nathu, he died in the year 1972. Harkesh, 1993. Shiv Dayal in 1998. And interestingly, all of it, all 5 of them, their names basically appear in the general power of attorney in favor of a person named Vinod Kumar, and all 5 of them came in the year 2004. The general power of attorney shows that on 7th of January 2004 is when this was basically transferred. And thereafter in 2023, it is basically Vinod Kumar who had basically transferred this land to Tarbiya Foundation, which happens to be a foundation linked to none other than Jawad Siddiqui. Let me go across to my colleague Chandrakala, who's getting us the latest details. Chandrakala, Republic TV has now accessed details of the Enforcement Directorate's investigation. It turns out that one man, Vinod Kumar, basically transfers a land, and this land belongs to people who have died much earlier. The general power of attorney has been given to Jawad Siddiqui, who is now in the custody of the Enforcement Directorate.
Well, in fact, as now that the investigation is deepening as far as the Red Fort bomb blast is concerned, now what we are learning is that the Enforcement Directorate has stumbled upon a new land rip in Madanpur, Khadar in Delhi, involving acquisition of prime land in 2013 from people who had actually died between 1978 and 1998 by forging their signatures and fingerprints. We're also now the fact that, of course, the Al Falah University, which is very much under the scanner of the learning, is that the Enforcement Directorate sources are now saying that the founder of the organization, that's Al Falah University, is alleged to have used a forged general power of attorney to transfer prime land, some of it reportedly sold in the names of people long deceased. Now officials are now probing the Madanpur Khadar acquisition claim the GPA was false and fabricated, with one individual allegedly holding power of attorney for at least 5 dead landowners. The ED is now also examining how the documents were created and who may have benefited from the suspected fraud. The probe are also revealing that new people died much before signing GPA, and people were already dead when GPA was executed in January 2004. The interesting fact is that
Right. We seem to have lost that line with Chandrakala. Just a quick recap of what we know so far. In fact, these are documents that have been accessed by Republic TV of sale deeds. And there is a pattern that basically emerges of people who have died, and thereafter the general power of attorney goes to one man in one single day. 5 people, their general power of attorney has been handed to this person. And finally, the ultimate beneficiary happens to be Jawad Siddiqui, who is the founder of Al Falah. Well, that's all that we could pack in this edition of This is Exclusive, getting you all the latest details on this big story that we have uncovered tonight. That's all that we could pack in this edition. Coming up, trending with my colleague Rakshit.